All right, so Zach tortured me, so I get to torture Zach now. We're going to find out his most underrated.
Yeah, we'll do underrated.
His most underrated bourbons right now. Welcome back to another edition of Bourbon Kingdom. I'm David.
And I'm Zach.
And today we are going to talk about Zach's underrated bourbons.
Yeah, so, like we said before, if you guys enjoyed the video, I would do my set of underrated, overrated.
Yep.
You guys clearly enjoyed those videos before. We appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys have not seen those before, you can, after this video, go ahead and check in the description below. We'll have those videos posted for you guys. That way you all can see them. Again, we appreciate the love and support with all that.
Always. Turn on likes, subscribe, turn on the notifications, all that good stuff.
Good job.
Do it. Right?
We also tried to do a different list. Because Dave had some good ones on his list, so I tried to stay away from that to make sure I didn't copy anything. And I'm going to have a mixture of things. Some of them will be allocated, and you'll be like, how is something allocated underrated? But I'll explain as we go. So, anyways.
He'll put his Zach spin on it.
I'll try to sell it.
Yeah.
Anyways, first one I'm going to talk about is the Rossville Union Barrel Proof. And this is a straight rye whiskey from MGP or Ross and Squib. Whatever we're calling that. I guess we're calling it Ross and Squib.
We are officially calling it Ross and Squib.
Whenever it comes to just great barrel proof ryes, a lot of people will bring up like, your Michter's barrel proof rye, Forester barrel proof rye. A lot of stuff that is obviously great, but is also allocated. This is not allocated.
It is definitely not allocated.
This comes from the great distillery of Ross and Squib. God, it's going to take so much time getting used to that. These are fantastic. And I absolutely love them, especially whenever it's like really nice and cold. Like when we're in the heart of winter, this bottle gets worked. Like last year, I bought two, and I at first I forgot about having one, and I was like, well, I guess I'll double up.
Yeah,
I killed that first one really quick, but this is really, really great. It's like 5 years old, I think, and it sets on all the shelves, at least locally for us. So I'm hoping it's more allocated or not allocated. Hopefully it sets on shelves for everybody else, but this is a great bottle to try. And honestly, I just don't hear a lot of people either on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or in any kind of media really talk about and give credit to.
It's a very MGP rye.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you like MGP rye, you're going to like Rossville. So
agreed.
Yeah.
My next one on the list. We've talked a lot about this bottle this year, but a Maker's Cask Strength. So not that I'll go a ton into it, but with this bottle here, when people are talking about looking for when people are talking about a Weller Antique, this to me is a poor man's version of that. And I think depending on the batch, like this is the 109.7 proof, batch 2201. I think this one is just as good as my normal stock antique that I have, Weller Antique. I know that sounds crazy because everybody's like, oh, it's Maker's Mark. But they are really good. They are really good. And especially from us being up in Michigan and northern Indiana this past week, I've discovered there's like 3 brands that just everybody has, Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, and Maker's Mark.
Yeah.
And these set up there, so you can still find them pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, for sure. It's really good. I mean, the cask strength.
You
were boring me with your underrated list.
Yeah,
you've not really stepped out of the box too much. No, I'm just kidding. No, the cask strength. Almost everything cask strength version of Maker's Mark is better than its regular counterpart.
Yeah, I'd agree.
So, pick it up if it says cask strength, and you're going to probably not be out of luck.
Yeah, I'd agree on that.
Yeah.
All right, so talking about distillery that I would say we definitely don't love, but I do love this bottle, is the New Riff, if I can get the label right, New Riff 6-year malted rye. So whenever we reviewed this a couple years ago, it was like hands down the best product I've ever had from New Riff.
It really was that long ago. 2021, fall of 2021.
Yeah,
it's almost coming up on 2 years.
I know, it's crazy. Whenever they first released this, they said this is gonna be a product. Look, it's gonna once it's off shelves, but it's gonna come back. It's gonna be on a more regular product, kind of like It's going to be more of a regular thing. I'm going to say I got like 3 of these because I was worried about it. And I'm down. I think this is my last one. I don't think I have any more back there. Guys, I'm a big New Riff. I don't want to say I'm a big New Riff hater, but I'm like a lot of people I know that's just like, I don't understand the hype of New Riff. But then I drink this. I think this is great. It's sweet. It is very approachable for a rye. And it's great. It's legitimately great.
It's the lone, honestly speaking, it's the lone New Riff that I like.
And I've had a lot of people asking about this bottle. This is also part of the reason why I put on this. I've had a lot of people asking about this bottle, and I'm like, yes, this is a for sure. You need to get it.
It's funny because, like, I would say that New Riff in general is overrated.
Yes,
but they do have at least this one. And there's maybe a couple other that, maybe one other, maybe one or two, but. The Taters love New Riff, I think, just because then anybody can go up and do a barrel.
Well, sure. So, yeah, no, I get it. All right, another one. And I wasn't going to put this on the list, but from talking to people again, like, you all keep talking to me about it, so I feel like, not that I'm educating anybody, but I just need to bring it up. And this is Green River, bourbon. And to me, this is some of the best cheap bourbon on the market.
Yeah.
And especially, I was just drinking on it again at Ports of the Park whenever Green River had their little booth set up and we were doing a little coin game and everything else. I was just like, man, this is just so good and approachable. It's easy to drink.
Yeah.
Again, it's $35. I'm not saying it's going to go and win some big monster blind.
No.
But, again, like, whenever I get, like, Facebook messages or emails being like, hey, is Green River actually good? Like, do you think it's, like, in comparison to such and such or whatever? I'm like, obviously I don't know your profile and I don't know what you enjoy, but I think this is just such an easy, approachable bottle in general.
It really is.
And
the weed it is too.
The weed it is too. I just like the bourbon better.
No, I agree. Yeah. I think the straight bourbon is better.
But overall, when people are sitting there, and if you're debating it, again, this is a cheap enough bottle. Don't debate it. Just go for it. Just dive right in. You'll be fine.
It makes me excited about the single barrels.
I agree. Still waiting to try them.
Yeah.
We know why we're waiting to try them over here.
Yeah.
but
underrated. Don't pass it up. Go spend $35 and put this on your bar, and people will be happy to drink your bourbon.
I think this is going to be the bottle you maybe dislike the most on my list.
No.
Oh, it's not the bottle you dislike most on my list?
No, if it was Rio, I would say yes.
No, well, I don't want to say Rio, but I do think this is actually better than Rio. So this is the Penelope Valencia.
Not even close.
Stop. Be nice. This bottle, to me, I didn't think I would like as much, and I just really freaking enjoy it, man. Like, it's not too overbearingly, like, finished.
No. But
it has the right candy citrus notes to me that I think is really enjoyable, even to somebody who doesn't like finished products. And yes, I know Penelope has like a following. It has a lot of hype to it.
I think this was my favorite of the 3 when we blinded it.
Might have been. Yeah. I don't remember.
It definitely wasn't the Architect.
No, I don't think it was. And definitely wasn't the Rio.
Or the Rosé.
Oh, you didn't like the Rosé?
No, I like the Rosé, but I think it was this and the Rosé.
Overall, guys, I think this bottle is great.
Yeah.
And it is, it kind of goes in waves in our area if we can find it or not. But, I mean, it does, again, sell on shelves, at least for us in this area.
Yeah, if you want to dip your toe in the Penelope world, I think this is a good one to start.
As long as you like finished.
Yeah, as long as you like finished stuff. If you don't like finished stuff, just stay away from it because that's not going to be your jam. But this one is definitely underrated. I like this one. Today's episode is brought to you by Zebotics. And let's face it, after a night of drinking, I don't really recover the way that I used to recover.
Oh no, none of us do. The older we get, I won't lie, like not even just drinking so heavy, it's just like the energy.
Yeah.
To want to get back. So, but all that's changed now since we found Zebotics.
Yeah. Zebotics is a pre-alcohol probiotic. It's world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle the rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next days. Zebotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down, and it's designed to work like your liver, but in the gut, I think where you need it the most. So just remember to drink Zebotics before drinking alcohol.
Yeah, so, I mean, Dave and I, we were actually just kind of talking to us the other day. We're going to have a really busy fall.
We are.
We got some places we're going. We got some events we're going to attend. And as I was telling him, we're going to drink this every single time, especially after we just went up to Michigan for an event.
Yep.
And we had a great time, and we were drinking these every single day, and we didn't miss a beat of anything.
Yep. So give Zebotics a try for yourself. Go to zebotics.com /Bourbon Kingdom and use the Bourbon Kingdom code at checkout for 15% off your first order, or use the QR code on the screen right here again to get 15% off your first order. Don't forget to visit zebotics.com for all your pre-alcohol probiotic needs.
Guys, this is some of the best stuff on Whiskey Tube, out of all seriousness. Changed the game for us. Can't recommend them enough. And thank you, Zebotics, for being a great channel partner.
Thanks.
All right, another one, and we have talked about this bottle a lot on the channel. Frank August. Am I getting this right with the... Yeah, oh yeah, I totally am. See, it's kind of hard to see with the Frank.
It really is.
But anyways, Frank August. Oh, are you going to make it over there?
I don't know. Maybe. We'll see.
So we were at Lubell, let me say this. At one point in time, I was a lot more confident where I thought this bottle was produced at, and now I don't know where it's produced at. I've heard rumors that it's Wilderness Trail distillate. I've heard rumors that it's Castle and Key distillate. If it's Castle and Key, this is by far the greatest thing Castle and Key has ever produced, and why they're selling it to another distillery, I have absolutely no clue.
Yeah.
I've also heard that it could just be Bardstown stuff. I wouldn't be shocked if it's Bardstown. I think it's Wilderness Trail, but I could see both the other two, not Castle and Key. Overall, this is a great bottle. It's like 60-something bucks. I think it's like 65, 68.
Yeah.
And I really love the slickness of it and the profile of it. It's light and fruity. It's just great. And this is like a prime example of like true craft whiskey. Yes, they source, but most craft distilleries do.
Yeah.
That I'm excited for. And I know they're laying stocks down at a certain major distillery in Bardstown that we love. So I am super excited for that stock to come of age and stuff like that as well.
And again, I've heard single barrels coming out of this too, but not seen them yet.
Haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
So, all right, next one. Another channel favorite, but again, this is... I judge a lot of my stuff that I think is underrated by whenever I talk to people in stores or so on and so forth, whenever you guys write us and let us know like what we think or like our opinions of stuff. Cooper Craft 100. So, is this the first Brown-Forman product I've had on the list? I think so. You guys should be proud of me. You know, I mean, this is the very first one.
It probably won't be the last.
I mean, technically it's not, but yeah, it technically is.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to that
but
later.
It's technically not.
Cooper's Craft 100, it's great. They are, now I will say, don't ever drink the 86 proof, it's garbage. But the 100 is fantastic, and they do something different with the barrels down there, and it's really easy to drink. It has a little bit of a chocolate profile to it, and it's like super easy to get cheap. It's like 35, 40 bucks here locally. So, and it's also Brown-Forman, so it hits a lot of those sweet notes for me.
Yeah. It's good. Like, I don't know what else to add to that other than, you're right, it's good. Probably a little underrated, so yeah. I see why it's on your list.
All right, now let's get to some of the more bottles that you guys are going to yell us about. Mostly me. So, Victor's Tenure Bourbon. Whenever you guys are sitting here, it's like, well, Zach, you say it's like a top 3 bottle this year. Hey, Zach, you always say go down to Michter's and try to get one. Hey, Zach, it's all you ever want to talk about is Michter's Tenure Bourbon. You're right on 1,000 different levels.
Listen, when they put out the good stuff,
here,
just can't.
Well, here's what I would say. And this is going to be blasphemy to some people. And if the distillery is watching, listening, which you're probably not, but if they are, they might be like, oh, we can maybe make more money. To me, this bottle drinks so much better than other bottles that are around the value on the secondary of like $500 and $600. You could say, well, it shouldn't be that high, but whatever, right? Like
it is what it is.
But like whenever I look at this bottle going on the secondary for around like 300, 350, and then like I say like a Russell's 13 going for around 300, or you know whatever, and I'm just like, man, this bottle smokes that. Like it really does. Like it's so freaking good. And if some of the rumors are true that this is like anywhere from 14 to 15 years old, and you think it's from a major distillery in Louisville that's sourced from, you know, probably a pretty big one that we love a lot on this channel. That rhymes with Crown Lorman. You know, we would
Crown Lorman. Go Crown Lorman.
We would probably be really excited about it too.
Yeah.
So I've said this before, and I had some of this up in Michigan that, you know, was poured out, given out. I will try to get as many of these bottles as I humanly can to drink on for the rest of my life, because I never owned, like, I think it was like 2015, 2016, which is like the real great one they say in this.
Yeah.
I never owned any of those. But this I can own in 2023, and I want to drink on these until I'm dead.
Yeah.
So, they're great.
So good.
It's great.
So good. Hopefully you all know how good Michter's is.
Oh, I hope so too. Like, if they're, like, I'll be honest with you. If there are, like, I'll be skittish because I didn't like the last two Tenure versions of it come out. But this one is literally so great.
Yeah.
That, you know, it's worth getting.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. Just put away the pitchforks. I promise I'll explain. So, Smoke Wagon Winter Oak. We've talked about this. I think so far, the stuff that we've had, it's probably within our top three. I think, you know, I think you and I
feel like the last two bottles have been in our top three.
They have been.
Yeah.
Well, they have been. Okay, I'll just flat out say it.
Yeah.
They have been. I love a lot of Smoke Wagon. We talk about this all the time. Love a lot of Smoke Wagon. Don't love a lot of Smoke Wagon. Right. Love a lot of their bourbon.
Yeah.
Some of their special releases haven't, in my opinion, hit these crazy awesome marks. You know, obviously like the Desert Jewel, Caramel Yum Yum, or whatever that sample was I had that was like crazy awesome.
Yeah.
But some of them haven't hit those marks. This one not only hits the mark, it smacks the mark.
Yeah.
And it literally sends it a mile forward. This is what I want for my Smoke Wagon, like special
all
limited.
day long.
Like, this is exactly what I want. This drink's incredibly special.
Yeah.
This is like truly special occasion whiskey. And it just hits all of those marks. And I'm just super excited that I own one. And every time I go to open one, I'm just like, hey, Dave, why don't you just bring over yours? Because you have one that's open.
I do.
He doesn't ever bring it open.
It's...
But here's my point. If you guys are really looking into wanting to get a real special limited edition Smoke Wagon, this would be the one I would get. I know they come out with new ones every so often. You know, the new Rye single barrels are dropping.
Is this readily available?
It's not that it's like readily available, but it was at one point in time around here. I don't want to say readily available, but it was released.
Just curious, what's the secondary on this?
It depends. If you go to those really dark spots on the old interwebs, it can be like $700.
Yeah.
If you go to like a certain unicorn auction, it can be like 14. So
it's really good.
I don't think they're hitting that now, but at one point in time, it was all.
It's really good.
It is.
And if Smoke Wagon can be underrated,
I'm saying this release of it is underrated. I think this release is probably one of his better releases he's had in a long time, Aaron. And I just think it's stupid special. I really do. I think it's great. All right, my last one, kind of allocated, kind of not. The old Sagamore 8-year. So this is, I think so far this is probably our favorite rye of the year.
I think you are correct.
Yep. Whenever I finally got my hands on it, I was super excited. I heard the distillery release was just like as awesome, if not better. And then whenever I got this, I was like, man, this is just like, this took me to a whole nother level with Sagamore, to where I was like, I really do think, like, I thought their distillery was great, but now I think their distillery is special. Yes, they blend some of their stuff with MGP stuff, and they're putting more of their stuff out as they're running out of the MGP stocks.
So Sagamore, if you're looking to work with an up-and-coming bourbon channel, we'd love...
Used car salesman over here.
We'd love to talk with you.
I do think that this product is great. Joe, that we met up in Portsmouth Park, he gave us a distillery release one, which was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm just a huge fan of Sagamore overall, and I think this bottle here, I think this bottle is going to make our top 20 of the year.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's going to rank, but
it'll make the top 20.
I think this is just stupid good. And the more people that I let try this, they're like, A, never had Sagamore, B, didn't even know this bottle was a thing, and then C, where can I buy one from?
Yeah.
So
Sagamore is awesome.
Yeah. They're
and
they do great stuff.
They do, and more people need to know about them.
Yeah.
They just do.
All right, so that's my list of underrated. Let me know what I got right, what I got wrong, what you guys hate, such as probably the Michter's Tenure and Smoke Wagon.
Like, how can that be underrated?
I know, right?